Not all technical safety requirements are derived directly from functional safety requirements. There are actually 5 other categories of technical safety requirements that ISO 26262 requires. 2 of the categories are for detecting faults either within a system or in an external device interacting with the system. The other 3 categories are for measures that enable the system to reach a safe state, to implement a warning and degradation concept, or to prevent latent faults. Here is an example of each case for the lane departure warning function. A fault within a system could either be a software error or a hardware component that malfunctions. A general technical safety requirement would be that the validity and integrity of the data transmission for the LDW talk request signal shall be ensured. We will talk about specific methods for checking data validity and integrity in the text below the video. Now let's look at a fault that is external to the lane assistance item. Let's say hypothetically, an external anti-lock brake ECU was transmitting speed information to the lane keeping assistance item. An error in the communication line between the brake ECU and the power steering ECU could cause a failure. Code needs to be added that checks for communication errors as the information gets transmitted between ECUs. We will derive a technical safety requirement that enables the system to reach and maintain a safe state. We already derived the safe state in the functional safety concept. The lane assistance system shall be switched off. A technical safety requirement would be that as soon as a failure is detected by the LDW function, it shall deactivate the LDW feature and the LDW talk request shall be set to 0. The next category involves technical safety requirements for implementing warning and degradation concepts. We have already said in the previous lesson that a warning light will turn on if the lane assistance item malfunctions. A technical safety requirement would be that as soon as the LDW function deactivates the LDW feature, the LDW safety software block shall send a signal to the car display ECU to turn on a warning light. And finally, let's discuss an example of measure that prevents latent faults. Latent faults are errors that exist but cannot be detected. An example would be a software error in the code that actually checks for the failures. Measures against latent faults generally take place during power up, power down, or during maintenance. A technical safety requirement for the lane keeping assistance would be memory test shall be conducted at the startup of EPS ECU to check for any faults in memory. The functional safety standard only requires avoiding latent faults for items labeled ASIL C or D. Now that we have described different types of technical safety requirements, we are going to discuss adding attributes to these requirements. Attributes include ASIL, fault tolerant time intervals, and a description of safe state transition.